At the heart of human-centered leadership lies a tolerance for the human condition. This is the first higher order leadership capability I'm discussing in this series. My name is Mariana. I'm a first-generation professional and certified coach helping other first-gen pros and 21st century leaders navigate complex career environments. This is part one of a series about the higher order capabilities of human-centered leadership. The information I'm sharing is based off of several years of aggregated research I collected to support my master's thesis on this topic. I also recently contributed a chapter on human-centered leadership to the book Brilliant Leadership: Unlocking the Power of Innovation Communication, which is now available. So, perfectionism is an insidious concept in leadership. No one is perfect or all-knowing, but in traditional ideas of leadership, the expectation for perfection is implied. Aside from the obvious as to why this is problematic, there are contrived narratives we've applied to help justify unrealistic expectations. We tell ourselves that it's about achieving and maintaining high standards when really it's about fear of being judged, fear of being criticized, fear of being seen as less competent. We tell ourselves that being a perfectionist will help us get better results, when more often it causes analysis paralysis. We think demonstrating perfection will prove that we're qualified, and yet it usually makes a person doubt themselves more. This may show up as endlessly tweaking your work before sharing it, struggling to delegate tasks, and setting unrealistic standards for yourself, which usually sets you up to feel like you're never good enough. And this intolerance tends to get projected towards others as well. This goes a long way to undermining trust and psychological safety. So having tolerance for the human condition, including one's own, comes from practicing radical acceptance. Recognizing that in any given moment on any given day, we're all navigating the continuum between our higher, more aspirational selves and our lower reactive states. And by accepting the humanity of our own flaws and errors, we become more compassionate and less judgmental towards ourselves and others' efforts to be seen, heard, and validated. In somatic practice, we call this process expanding your window of tolerance. The brain and central nervous system are hardwired together. So all of the data we're receiving through our thoughts and feelings are what inform our behaviors and perspectives. If you have a narrow window of tolerance, it means there are more triggers that can send you over the threshold into overreaction and lashing out, or freeze you into inaction. I coach clients on expanding their window of tolerance to neutralize the perceived threats that impact their threshold and therefore their growth as a leader. There are many ways to wield leadership authority, and the least effective is relying on your positional power or place in the hierarchy. This may get you compliance, but at the cost of reducing team innovation and increasing talent turnover. Mastering your higher order capabilities builds your reputation as a high-performance leader who achieves great results without defaulting to intimidation tactics. Like this post and follow for part 2, where I'll be sharing how human-centered leaders establish environments of ethical trust and true belonging.